Hi there. Welcome to another edition of A Lot of Help with James Lott Jr. I am James Lott Jr. and I am here to help. And I love talking to people from all over the world and all over the country when it comes to coaching. You know, I'm a certified life coach like 5 times over and professional organizer. I love talking to other folks and seeing what they're doing, what their methods are, what their belief system is, and what they're doing. And as somebody who's very charismatic, and you can see very good looking, of course, you know, that's how it goes. PerseveranceCoaching.com. He's a virtual sustainable weight loss and mindset expert. He's an online fitness and wellness coach. All those words, I love all those words. So I'm going to talk to you, so I'm going to make sure I may say his last name correctly, folks. Andrew Mcilwean.
Mcilwean. It's close. It's close enough.
Mcilwean. Now I'm going to say it 10 times. I got it. Mcilwean. Hi, Andrew.
There you go. Man, I'm doing great today, James. Thanks for having me on today. I'm really excited.
My pleasure. Okay, so I reached out to him. I see people out there in the universe of online, and I'm telling you, online connections are for real, folks. Back when it first started, it was kind of weird, like, oh, online. But seriously, I have met so many people through this platform, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, that are quality people, and we actually make connections. I made a connection with this young man, so I just want to say thanks for taking the message.
Of course.
Okay, so we're talking before camera about the shelter at home. You're in Virginia. Kind of talk about what it's like down there for you guys in Virginia. I'm in California, so it's very different here. So what's it like where you are?
You mean in the context of just due to COVID, everything going on right now, or just
how are you doing and how's it over there?
Perfect. Well, thanks for going great over here, man. Now we're actually supposed to, due to COVID, we're supposed to reopen like in June, the beginning of June. But you know, you can tell there's a lot of restlessness going around. You know, you see a lot of people going places, doing normal things. I think probably the main thing is that you don't see are probably the big social gatherings, because we here in Charlottesville, where I'm at, we have a lot of community events. I mean, there's a crap ton of community events go along, and they're not really happening right now. So other than that, man, I mean, I think for most people, life is still going on over here at least.
I've been to Richmond, but I've never been anywhere else. So where is Charlottesville?
Charlottesville is literally 1 hour west of Richmond.
Oh.
Literally, you hop on the interstate, you just drive straight as an arrow west, and boom, you hit Charlottesville.
Oh, wow, okay. My niece went to Hampton College back there.
Okay.
And I was a cheerleader there. Did great there. She loved Virginia. I used to go to Richmond. I loved it. I used to go to Richmond all the time for a conference. I also loved the Midlothian area of Richmond. I had a great time over there, and it was great. I mean, Richmond's very different than
it is. Oh yeah. And I'm actually from North Carolina. I'm from the coast of North Carolina, and I actually got brought up here to Charlottesville before I had started my coaching agency, my coaching business. I actually got brought up to Charlottesville to run a gym. A gym was opening, and they asked me to come run it. So I said, cool, you know, I'll be happy to do it. And that's kind of how it brought me up here, and I just kind of fell in love with the area. I'm from the beach, but I love the mountains, man. I love the mountainous area, and they're not like the big snow peak mountains, but they're the rolling mountains over here where I'm at. And we're right on the edge of them, where the first valley is. And it's just a beautiful area, a beautiful environment. I kind of fell in love with it, especially during fall. Oh, my word, it's beautiful.
Now, I've been to North Carolina, but I've never been in it. But I want to ask you a question. So are the Carolinas the South?
You got North and the South. Yeah. So Virginia is actually still technically the South. Like if you go up to like New York or Pennsylvania, they'll be like, Virginia, that's all the South. But if you go to North Carolina, the Virginia is North, right? Like Virginia is, we consider that to be the North. Like when I grew up there, growing up in North Carolina, I was like, I consider Virginia the North. But even if you take it way back to the Civil War days, I mean, Richmond was the capital of the Confederacy, I think it was, if I remember correctly, or it was in Virginia. And so, I mean, it's considered the South, but it depends on where you grew up is kind of where it falls.
There's that weird Mason-Dixon line, and like where you go, and it's kind of crazy. But I was just curious because I've been through the whole coast over there, but I was just like, what is that considered? I couldn't tell what it's considered. I have family from South Carolina, and they themselves in the South, but I was just like, look at Virginia. Virginia is so close to Maryland, and it's close to Washington D.C.
Right. I would have to give it like D.C. is the line. Like you go north of D.C., you're in the north. That's kind of how I guess I would view it at that point. But just being in Virginia, because Virginia is a very southern. It depends on where you go. Like, you know, if you're in the rural areas, it's southern and it's very, conservative over there. But if you hit up north near D.C., Alexandria, those areas, obviously you're going to hit kind of the metro area as well. And so you get kind of like, it depends on where you are, you get kind of the best of both worlds.
Yeah. So, okay. We're talking off camera about just kind of, you said you go to a gym, but it's a private gym.
Yes.
We're talking about people
Mhm.
actually persevering.
There you go.
But I'm
Love it.
and finding ways to make their own gyms, and we're kind of laughing about that. I mean,
Yeah.
so kind of explain your philosophy on just like such situations like that, making your own way when that
Yeah.
way may not be there for you.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I truly believe there's never a lack of resources. There's only a lack of resourcefulness. I believe that wholeheartedly. And that's kind of like a philosophy
Love
I
it.
try to breed with. Yeah. It's a kind of a philosophy I try to breed within my clients as
Say that one
well.
more time. I want people to hear that. Say that one more time. I love it.
Yeah. I believe truly in anything, there's never a lack of resources, only a lack of resourcefulness.
Thank you.
Done deal.
Like
But he's got a bell and everything. I
I'm
love it.
like, that is, I'm sorry to stop you guys. I love that, love that, love that. I love it.
Hmm.
I live it. I believe it. But I love that. Go ahead.
100%. And you know, and I've experienced this in multiple ways in my own life, whether it's working out, whether it's finances. I mean, heck, if you want to get down to it, and when I actually started my business, I only had $400 in my bank account to my name, and I actually was like, this is what I need to do. I know I need to do this. And I actually opened up some credit lines and went in debt technically underwater, because, you know, if you only have $400 and you go in debt
Yeah.
$6,000, whatever it may be. And, you know, but I got resourcefulness because I had to pay for the business startup. And literally within the first month, I actually made I doubled all that money back. So it's just a prime example, you know, like there's never a lack of resources and resource. There's only, you know, resourcefulness, lack of resourcefulness. And one of the main things on there is that human beings would be surprised about what we can accomplish when we're backed into a corner. You know, like when we're comfortable, we get kind of complacent. I truly feel. But whenever you're backed into a corner and the only other way to go is forward, you'd be surprised about how much you can actually accomplish when that's the only direction you can go.
Yeah. No, I just love that. Yeah, I think for me, I always feel like when people say things, my friends always laugh. I always do this to them. Well, what if it doesn't work out? Like, what if it does?
Yeah,
What if I do
exactly.
this? What if you don't? Like, I always do that, and they laugh
Hmm.
at me. I get on their nerves.
Hmm.
They laugh at
Hmm.
me, and that's kind of the same concept. It's like, it's about flipping it. Yeah, we always go
Right.
to this, usually
Right.
the negative, as we go to first. I'm like,
Correct.
well, what if it does? Let's go to the positive and see if that
That,
works.
that's
If that,
right. That's
they,
right.
they,
And
they have equal way of working out either way. So why go
exactly.
left when you can go right?
Right. And you've never heard somebody on their deathbed saying, man, I regret going all in on my goals and dreams.
Right.
Right. You know, you never heard anyone say that, because ultimately money will always come and go, but you only got so much time on this earth to live. So why not go all in on what you truly want for your life? And they kind of go back under your question, your original question about, you know, kind of uh, just the whole deal. Like, so, you know, as far as resourcefulness goes, I mean, heck, just to prove my point, as far as the gym life goes, just my workouts, like I actually went to a public park playground and I got a full workout in and recorded me doing a workout at a public park playground and just using all their stuff they had there. It's just another way to where you can you know, remove those excuses and get your workout in. And kind of what we were talking about off camera is, at the end of the day, you know, as long as you got your body and ground, which literally you find everywhere because that's like literally life,
Right.
you can get your workout in. So anything beyond that is just an excuse.
So I'll share some with you. So I've been, as of this recording, I've been home 55 days. I have
Mhm.
not left my house to go nowhere.
Yeah. Wow.
And because in LA, it's really bad here in LA. So
Yeah.
I just stay home. But now I have a huge yard. I'm one
Right.
of the few people blessed in Los Angeles. I own my home. I have a huge front yard and backyard. I post pictures of my garden all the time online. People love it. I have fruit trees. My yard is about the size of a city block. It's really, I just
Wow.
lucked out. A lot of my land is just, I lucked out. So I decided, because I've lost 12 pounds in the last
Awesome.
5 days. Everybody else is gaining weight. I'm like, how are you losing weight, James? Your face looks different. I was like, I was not gonna do that. But anyway, for exercise, I walk my perimeter of my property.
Uh-huh.
Just to go to your point, it's that I found I don't have to walk the streets or go somewhere. I can walk the whole property
Mhm.
like 20 times, and that's a mile. I mean, I counted it out. Like there's with those 10,000 steps, I can do that in my house, in my yard all day long. So I agree with you. There's no excuse.
Mhm.
So I can't go.
Mhm.
So I can't go to the beach and walk in LA. Our beaches are closed. That's
Right.
fine. I have a yard. I have no excuse. Even if I didn't have
Right.
my yard, I have a house. Just go back
Mhm.
and forth. Do
Exactly.
that 30 times or whatever. Like, I mean, it's like, it's just,
Mhm.
I agree with you. It's like, my friends laugh at me, but I'm like, I always tell people, there's a will, there's a way. I mean, you just have to figure it out.
That's right.
You got to think a little more and just figure it out.
That's
Right.
right. 100%, 100%. And, and I think for a lot of people, there's like just like a mental block there. I mean, I know like some people are like, oh, I gotta be in a gym. And look, I'm right there with you. I literally hate not being in a gym, but I hate not working out and being lazy even more. Right. So it's like you pick your poison. Do you actually, in fact, it's not even a poison. Like you should be blessed and thankful that you can work out just period, that you have the capabilities to do
Yes.
that, regardless of the locale. Right.
Yeah.
Regardless of where you're at, what you have available to you. Um, again, that's where a lot of the mindset play comes in, and I think you can definitely understand that and definitely relate to it. That's why personally I incorporate a lot of mindset coaching inside my program, is because it's like, hey, like, look, you gotta understand, have your mindset wrapped around a lot of these things, so you're not falling off the wagon when maybe COVID-19 comes around, right, or whatever, something like that, where it kind of throws you off your normal routine.
So let me ask you a question, because it is mindset. There is a lot of fear and anxiety.
Yeah.
So like for myself, Hollywood shut down, so I have no jobs at the moment. I mean, I'm affiliated with studios, and we're all waiting. We're all
Right.
sitting here, waiting. It's kind of weird. But like in my coaching, I make other money. I mean, I put out books and music, and I make royalty checks, things like that. But at first, for some people, if they work out the gym, that's their safe place. That's their place they go.
Right.
But then they run out of money, or they have other problems going on, or scared. How do you start talking to them as a mindset coach in the beginning?
For the person who ran out of money.
No. So let's say they have anxiety. I'm just using an example. They have anxiety because they have
Mm-hmm.
multiple things going on because of this COVID thing, but they still kind of
Mm-hmm.
want to work out, but they have all these kind of
Right.
things in their brain.
What I have found, great question. What I have found the most is that those who really, what it boils down to, have a scarcity mindset or are going through a scarcity time in their life, they often forget what they actually, again, you were talking about this, you hit on this, but you forget what's going well in your life. You forget what you have to be grateful for. Period. Done deal. I mean, it's as simple as that. As cheesy as it may sound, most people, like you said, like we're conditioned to focus on the negatives in life, everything in our day. When somebody asks you how you're doing and it's not good, you don't go, I'm doing bad. You go, oh my word, let me tell you about this person at work today, right? But if you're doing good, you just say, I'm doing great. How are you? Right? Like you don't elaborate on it. And that's because we're conditioned to focus on the negative. And so in the same sense, our mindsets kind of react that way when we just tend to focus on all the bad, negative things. And so, what really boils down to is that I feel like, and just from my experience of coaching hundreds and hundreds of people and just dealing and experiencing and seeing patterns, right? And you can probably understand that as well. And with your own businesses, people just forget what they actually do have, and they only focus on what they don't, or what they've lost rather than what they do have. For example, you lost your job. I definitely feel you. I've lost multiple jobs in my life before, but I still got family to care about me. I still got a roof over my head, and I still got food to eat. You're better than 75% of the people on this planet. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's true.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's about a mindset shift and a perspective shift on what you do have. And now I'm not downselling or saying that, hey, I empathize with you 100%. Like I feel you, I hear you, and no, like I'm not saying you should be happy about your situation. Like, yeah, you have the right to be upset or maybe anxious about it, but to help minimize that and help you keep it in a positive, reinforcement trajectory, focus on what you do have to be grateful for at the time of scarcity.
Well, I always tell people, of course, we never downplay stuff. We're all 2 steps from homeless. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is, being worried, being anxiety filled doesn't help you. It just doesn't.
Exactly.
It doesn't really help you in anything. It really does not help you. So,
Right.
Being worried doesn't help you. You want to have a clearer mind and a mind to be able to figure it out, to be able to try to go for something, to try to figure this out, try to work through it, try to be there for
Mm-hmm.
people in your family
Mm-hmm.
who are going through it too, your friends. So
Mm-hmm.
I just say that being nervous and worried, yeah, we're all a little nervous and worried. There's a lot of uncertainty out there, but
100%.
to live in it fully doesn't serve you in any way. It just
Right.
really doesn't. I'm not asking you to be happy and go lucky all the time, but just kind of try to realize, okay, well, I got a house for a while, so good, we're good. Okay,
Yeah.
I like that. I'm good.
Yeah.
I have a balcony. I mean, I have a backyard. I have a balcony. I have folks get mad at me. Well, you have a house, James. I'm like, well, that doesn't matter. My house is comfortable. I lived in studio apartments with no kitchen, and I made it comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I lived in.
Right.
I had a Murphy bed in one apartment. The Murphy bed came out of the wall. I mean, I made that place comfortable. It's like that
Exactly.
was kind of the point. I remember when I started my life over at 40, which is 11 years ago now. It's kind of funny. And instead of looking at, I left a high paying job in San Francisco, and I was making money hand over fist. But I hated my job. My stomach hurt every day. I hated it.
Right.
So I came back home to start over. I had to shift my mindset to not that you lost the money, not that you're not making that money anymore, but that you have freedom now. You have freedom to create your life. So that's always where it stems from. Like you said, you have to kind of just look at what you have. Not okay, I have a place to live. I'm in beautiful Los Angeles. It's sunny all the time here. We don't have snow.
Right.
I don't know how people do. I mean, I'm like when I was home in Pittsburgh. Oh, I'm like when they told me I can't leave my house because my steps are iced over. I was like, I don't understand. My steps are iced over. I have to de-ice my steps. Like, what, I need to leave my house to go to the store? And it's crazy. Or the snow is so beautiful as it falls. The first snow comes, it's beautiful and soft. Then it's like, where's my car? I can't see my car. I see a piece of a car over here. I got to shovel snow to get to my car. Like that kind of stuff. I had to go, well, James, you're in Los Angeles. You don't have to worry about that anymore. You're fine. So, it's like, I'm being funny, but it's kind of like, those are the things you have to kind of do for yourself when it comes to when you think you're lacking something.
100%. Again, it just, to me, it just always boils down to just perspective. 100%. We always believe the grass is always going to be greener, right? And then when we get over there, we're like, oh, I want to go back 9 times out of 10, right? Or when we get on the new greener grass, guess what's happened? We got to upkeep that greener grass, right? And so like there's new problems that come with it.
It's funny you say that. My grandmother used to always say, the grass is not greener on the other side because you still have to mow the lawn.
Exactly. Again, and it's just something imperative, like, and one of the things, anytime someone I knew, I get a new client enrolled into my coaching program, one of the first things that, when a new person comes on board is I say to them, I say, look, I want you to understand something. Like, we're starting a new, like basically adding something to your lifestyle or making a lifestyle shift. It's going to be very important. But what you need to understand is that life is still going to happen. Life is still going to throw curveballs. Like a lot of people think if they start a new health and fitness plan, that life is just going to conveniently make everything perfect for them just to implement and to go to the gym and to eat good, to eat proper nutrition or whatever it may be. I'm just like, no, life is still going to happen. COVID don't care if you're starting a new plan or not.
No.
Right. So it's about, you got to have the mindset to still follow through and keep on going, and to make those adjustments where need be and to still show up regardless. Right. And I'd like to use an analogy. And that's like, would you just, if you didn't feel like going to your job, would you not go? I guarantee you'd probably still go. Otherwise you would get fired.
Right.
Maybe you don't feel like showing up to your marriage today. Are you going to just say, wife, I'm sorry, or husband, I'm sorry, I love you, but I don't feel like doing this marriage thing today? No, you made a vow, you made a commitment. You're going to show up even when you don't feel like it. So why make this area of your life any different? Like if there's this true, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's one of the another mindset shift that I try to work with people to make is that like you treat this a certain way, treat this the same way. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask you a question that I've never asked any other coach. I don't even have it written down. It just hit me.
Let's rock it.
So I love being present in interviews.
Yes.
So you're in a relationship, right?
Kind of. Yes.
I know it's complicated. I was like, yeah. Well,
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask you the question anyway because
go for it.
You've been in a relationship, so I'm gonna ask the question. What is it like being a coach in a relationship?
That's a great question.
I've never asked that before. Any other coach I've ever interviewed, I'm like, I wonder what that's like, man. Because everything you're saying, I love what you're saying. And everything, I'm like, what is that like?
Yeah. It's a great question. It's a dangerous question. No, I'm joking.
Yes, I know exactly.
No, but it's honestly it can be kind of, I wouldn't say difficult, but interesting because there's a lot of times in my relationships where I turn on the coach mode.
Yes, I've done that too.
And so they're like, like my girlfriend's got to be like, hey, Andrew, I'm your girlfriend. I'm not your client. That type of deal.
Yes.
And so it's kind of like, oh my word, I'm sorry. Like, it's just how my mind works. Heck, I even do that with just my normal friends or just through people. I'll start coaching, even if I don't even even if they're not a client or whatever. It's just kind of like that coach trigger comes off of my mind where like, I'm all about giving value. And I think what a lot of that stems from is my own personal belief. And when I was in college, for example, I met my first mentor. I didn't ask him to do so. He just kind of took me under my wing, and he actually introduced me to personal development. Like, first guy, never really knew about personal development, all that great stuff until him. I didn't ask him for it. He just kind of brought me under my wing, but I was so intrigued by it, and I was so hungry to learn more and about that, to where I kind of just, so now that I'm on the other side, it's kind of like, to be really kind of nerdy for a second, the apprentice has become a master type deal. I've kind of like adopted that type of deal to where like someone may not even ask me for it, but I just kind of naturally, just off instinct, want to give them value and insight into certain areas, even if they not ask for it. And so sometimes I get, they bite me in the heel, and sometimes it's well received. And so it's definitely in a relationship. It's definitely something that I'm definitely learning to try to, throttle and learn a little bit more about when's the right time, when's not the right time. And is it well received? Is this not a good time? That type of dynamic.
Now, I'll flip it a little bit, but I'm sure it's also helped you on your side of things in a relationship, because you have the coaching, you know how to come from center, you know how to look at yourself. It's probably helped you in many ways, hasn't it?
100%. I mean, 100%. One thing that has really helped me with is just communication. I mean, I used to be a guy who would shut down and kind of like just veer off into my circle. Now I'm the opposite. Now I'm just like, hey, let's sit down and let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. And it's also helped me put myself in other people's shoes a lot more. And I think there's the empathy really comes into play. I'm good at understanding people's perspectives. Now there are some times where I'm kind of maybe blinded by my own, but one thing, and this is one thing I really do pride myself on, not to toot my own horn, but as the coach, I really take pride in the fact that I am not only a coach, but I am very coachable, if that makes sense. And I feel like real coaches should be the most coachable as well.
Yes,
and so, whether I'm in a relationship, if my girlfriend's like, hey, Andrew, listen, I need you to listen to me. I need you to pay attention to me for a second, and I need you to listen. I'm like, I may be like going on, but I'm like, okay, cool. Like, she's got something she needs to talk to me about. Like, let me tune out. Let me take it. You got to lower the ego for a moment and just, you got to kind of absorb. And that's something that's definitely been a learning process. And I feel like with everybody, it's a learning process, but it's definitely been, it's definitely made things a lot easier for me to help, communicate, to have a certain perspectives and mindsets when it comes to things, to issues or situations or anything along those lines. It's like, I just tend to put myself in other people's shoes a lot more, rather than just be stuck on my side of the fence, if that makes sense.
It does. And I'm a person who, tries to turn it off too sometimes. Like, because I have children, I have grown daughters, and I try not to. I mean, I'm a parent, so I'm already going to tell them certain things, but then I'm like, James, don't go to this. They're grown folks. They're grown folks. My daughter's in their 30s. They're grown people.
Right.
They don't need me on top of them on stuff. So, but they know occasionally I give them a talking to sometimes. I pull it out and I give it to them. They have to listen. But for the most part, I listen to what they want. But I just thought it's very interesting, because through coaching, I've become a better listener. I've become more present in relationships.
Absolutely.
And much calmer. I was a hothead when I was younger, a little hotter head.
I was too, actually.
Hey, I'm a true Taurus. That's what I was. I was a hot, stubborn and a hothead. But I've calmed down much more, because you do understand people a lot more, so you can actually deal with them when you can understand the traits they have. Things because you learn a lot. In coaching, you learn a lot of stuff. So I want to ask finally for you. So where'd you go for coaching? To the folks out there.
Where did I go for coaching? So as a fitness coach, so believe it or not, I actually majored in economics and political science in college, because I was a huge economics buff. Yeah. I actually love economics, but I kind of was shoved, growing up in a traditional conservative Southern home, there's stigma, and especially with parents who like really didn't understand quite the power of the digital age yet.
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of shoved down my throat. Hey, dude, got to go to college if you want to be successful in lifetime.
Oh yeah, of course, me too.
So that was kind of shoved down my throat. And so when I went, I was just like, I love learning. I love learning and growth and everything, but like I didn't really want to do anything that a degree required. And I got into fitness, when I was in middle school, and then when I was like turned as soon as I could, which was 18, I got certified to be Fitness Trainers of America, a small organization. And then when that expired, I got recertified with National Academy of Sports Medicine, which is the top dog accreditation for coaching. And so that's where I got recertified from there. The version of me that's just like, hey, I'm investing a lot in myself. I just want to get after it.
Yeah, that's great. That's but I do believe in just just. I mean, I love coaching. I love the whole thing of coaching, and I went to college too. Went to college, did all that stuff. I used to be a nurse. Went to nursing.
Wow.
Did all that, and I just I didn't want to do that anymore. Then I went into finance, and I went into insurance. I mean, I had sales and everything. To what I'm doing now. And
Renaissance man.
Yeah, it's Renaissance. Everybody knows. Yeah. I've noticed the James of all trades in Hollywood.
Yeah,
because I do a lot of different stuff. But you live life. And you figure it out. And I agree with you. Education should never stop. I wrote down the thing you said. Coaches should be coachable. I love that because I have mentors. I have coaching mentors, the people I talk to, and people come. I have mentees, so you pay it forward. I learn from them. I learn from my clients, and I learn from my coaches. Every coach should have a coach. Every coach should have somebody that they're working with. I mean, it's
talk about a lot.
The best version. I know I gotta be the best version. It's funny because when I got into coaching. I've been now a certified general life coach for 6 years now. I celebrated in April.
Right.
My certificate right there.
There you go.
Him. It's up there. My degrees and everything are up there.
Love it.
And like I told you before we talked off, we text messages back and forth a couple of days ago. It just became an extension of what I was doing. And so for you, do you feel the same way? It's like you're into health and wellness. You're just kind of an extension of it.
Oh, 100%. I feel like life coaching, fitness, health, and wellness, it all bleeds into each other. But even before that, man, growing up, I was kind of the guy that would, pull my friends aside and kind of just support them in whatever they were going through, you know? And so, just so many of those, just so many times I would be that guy who would kind of be giving advice to my friends and stuff when I had no idea, honestly, like what even you can call it, life coaching, personal development, whatever it may be. I was just kind of that guy who would support my friends and stuff like that. And I've always kind of had that nurturing side in me. Just want to help people in their lives and help them be their best versions. Right. Yeah. Because and then when I hit college, when I met my first mentor, he just poured into me. I mean, he just poured into me, introduced me to people like Tony Robbins, Tim Ferriss. And that's where I really my whole mindset shifted on life and just everything. And he just poured into me with asking nothing in return, literally nothing in return. He just took me under his wing and mentored me. And so now I kind of adopt that same philosophy. Is look, somebody gave me a chance to just learn and to grow, and took me under their wing. And so now obviously I have a business to run, but now I just do that just for people. I want to help. And that's what I tell people is that, hey, look, if you ever have a conversation with me over social media, and a lot of the times like a lot of people are like, you're just, oh, I see what you do. Yeah, I see what you do. You're just trying to close another client. And I'll be like, not necessarily. No, like I actually want to provide value to people because I feel like my value, my mission on this earth is to help people, become their best versions, to identify what that looks like and to grow. And the way I've built that right now and developed that is through, fitness, health, and wellness coaching, because I truly believe that in order to be your best version, you got to grow the internal part of yourself and the external. And when you focus on those two things, that's your entire being that you're developing. And so that's kind of just my philosophy around it, man. And then it's been awesome. It's really just truly been, have people put their trust in you to take them from point A to point B, right? So it's honestly a true blessing.
You seem like you're a cheerleader for your clients. I can
100%. I love them to death. I'll take a bullet for them.
Yeah, I can tell. You have that. I'm the biggest cheerleader. I'm here for you. I mean, I'm there for you. I'm interested in your outcome. I care about you. I want to see I'm working with you. So I mean, not just for you or at you. I'm working with you so that you get the best version of yourself. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. It's not even just clients, man. Like I've had some people message me on social media just saying about how something I posted affected them.
Good.
In a positive way. Like maybe like something I posted about my own story. Like I've had some people just message me. Like, I mean, I'm talking about novels, novel messages saying about how they may have experienced something similar like that. And for me, like that just, like it kind of gets me emotional. I'm just like, hey, like, look, whether you work with me or not on a business side, I'm doing what I'm meant to do. That's impacting people's lives in a positive fashion.
You are affecting change in the world, positive change in the world. I love that.
Let's rock it.
I do. Okay. So right now, virtual is kind of the main thing at the moment. It's a big deal. And many of our communities, my organizing community, life coach community, it's all about the virtual world. So how are you navigating that?
Really nothing's changed for me. I mean, my entire business model was virtual anyways.
Okay. Oh,
and all my coaching is online. Like all my fitness, health, and wellness coaching is done online via apps, website, membership site, stuff like that. Zoom calls, actually. Everyone's like getting into Zoom calls now, and I'm like sitting over here like I've been doing this for the past couple of years.
Yeah, like I've been good for a while.
Yeah, I do. Like I know all about the Zoom life. Zoom life. Yeah. But so I mean, I've been coaching for the past decade, and I've done impersonal training 1-on-1. I've done group coaching. I've ran gyms before, and honestly, I can tell you right now, fitness is you'll be able to see in the especially the next 5 years, give or take. Most trainers are going to be online.
Yeah.
There's just more impact to be made. Now, a lot of people are stuck in the way of, I got to be in a gym. You got to be seeing me and looking at me and physical. It's not really the case. People, as long as you know what you're supposed to do and you know how to do it properly, you can pretty much do it on your own. Like I've worked with over dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of people online, and I have had no issues with anybody. I actually had one guy get injured, but that was because he didn't actually watch a video on how to properly do something. He took it upon his own mind. And I was like, dude, that's not on me. That's on you. And he did it wrong, but he actually did a whole something completely different than what I had him doing. Anyway, so everything's virtual anyways, and it's been virtual for me anyways. That's why honestly, I'm blessed to say COVID really hasn't affected me because it's just another day in the life of my business model. But like I said, you're going to see mostly everybody be shifting online now because look, we live in a digital age anyway. So why not go ahead and get ahead of the game? And then one of the biggest things that I try to get people to understand, even coaches and trainers that are like, hey, like, I'm thinking about going, starting an online coaching business. I'm like, you should 100%, because for me, I was just like, I want to make more impact. I used to, like I said, I've been coaching for, nearly a decade in this area, and I've done it all. And the problem with in-person training is that you're limited. You're limited to the impact you can make, and you're limited to the time you have available to the human being and what you're able to do with that time. For example, if you say, let's just say I was an in-person trainer, I was your in-person trainer, and you came to me in a gym. And I'll be like, cool, James, what's going on, man? Here's what we're doing today. Let me show you the workout. You would do it for an hour. We would do it. And then I would say, high five. Cool. I'll see you in a few days or whatever. Right. But with online, it's like, hey, you can message me any freaking time of the day you want to, not just when you're tied down and not just when our appointments in the gym. You can shoot me a message. You can call me. I can help you with nutrition. I can provide higher levels of accountability. I can provide the mindset coaching. You don't get any of that with in-person training. You don't. They're not allowed to do nutrition coaching for the most part. They can't provide the other 96% of accountability outside of the gym. And so the value is just so far beyond going virtual. I mean, for example, like I have multiple people who I was on vacation one time. I was on vacation in Lake Tahoe, California. Actually, love Lake Tahoe, man. And I had a client message me. She said, Coach Drew, I'm struggling today. I'm very discouraged. I'm demotivated. My mindset's not really feeling good today. Can you just throw some support my way? And on vacation, I just called her up and I talked to her for an hour. I can't do that if I'm in a gym.
No.
Right? You can't do that. And so it's just, the value is just so far beyond, man. And so that's what led me to online. But regardless, I mean, we live in a digital age anyways. Why not be a part of that? Why not go ahead and get into that? And now more than ever, people are like, hey, I got a busy schedule. I'm on the go, time. So, trying to get into a gym for a certain appointment may not even be a viable option for you. And so that's why virtual is just the way to go.
You are amazing. You're going to have to come back on the show. You have to come back on the show.
Dude,
I wrote
awesome.
some notes down, guys. He has some good stuff. Put him in the show description. You gave some gems today.
Appreciate it, man. I love talking. I love having the conversation and just talking about things like this. It's awesome.
Yeah, so, I'm gonna have you back. Seriously, I'm gonna have you back on. We're gonna talk. We're gonna dig deeper.
Let's rock it.
This is just an introduction to folks, my people who don't know who you are. I want them to know who you are, but I definitely want to talk deeper. But you gave some good gems in here.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate that. Always looking to provide
Tell folks where they can find all your stuff online.
Sure, sure. So, wow. So I do have a website, but the best way to, if you want to get connected with me, either just gain value from my post, or maybe you do need help in your fitness, health, and wellness life, you can follow me on Instagram at Andrew_Mcilwean. That's at Andrew_McilWean. Or you could go to perseverancecoaching.com, and you could fill out a form there, or email us there, or you could email us at perseverance.coaching.academy@gmail.com. Those are the best ways to get a hold of me. If you just want to have a conversation, or if you just want to say, hey, maybe you even listened to the podcast and you just found something that we said valuable. But that's where you can get connected with me. And yeah, I'd be happy to just to have a conversation and to chit chat. And maybe if you need help, love to see, if we'd be possibly a good fit to work together, if that's what you're looking for, especially during this time right now. I got clients working out at home. Yeah. Some of them have private gyms. Some of them, it don't matter. As we talked about today, it don't matter where you are, you can still crush it, regardless of what it is. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much where you can find me. And regardless, I truly, truly appreciate, the time being on here today. And it's been a great time. We're going to have a great conversation.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. I agree. I totally agree. And you can follow me at James Lott Jr. That's where all James Lott Jr.'s are, everywhere. Just type in James Lott Jr. and you'll find me. And I'm not even joking, folks. Google my name and you'll pop up. But this show is everywhere on all the streaming platforms, from Deezer to Spotify to Pandora to Apple. It's everywhere under A Lot of Help with James Lott Jr. We're also on YouTube at JLJ Media. So go ahead and like and follow that. Be kind and subscribe to my channel. And tell folks about this interview. If you think somebody needs to hear this, pass it along. Pass it along to all your friends. They might need to hear this. We have no problem with that whatsoever. And if you're a little nervous to get to him, come get to me. I'll get you in touch with him. We'll work it all out. We just want you to reach out and have the best life possible. And if he's the way for you, we will make sure I'll get you to him. Don't worry. Everyone out there, please stay safe. Please stay sane. I know it's a little tough out there, but we see you, we hear you, and take care of yourselves.